Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's video. Going to have a look at weather next 10 to 14 days. For today's video, day 10 will take us to 21st of June, and we'll be over at out beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensemble with baby around a couple of weeks. And have a look at CFSB2 at the end of the video. Next 4 weeks gets us into July. So I'll get on back for you in a moment. I'll say thank you so much again for all of the lovely messages that you've been sending about the passing of my mum, Mrs. P, on the 27th of May. We lost her, so you've all been sending in loads of lovely messages. And it's been incredible. The response, the love, the support has been absolutely amazing. I know people would be, absolutely blown away by the response. And thank you so much. It does mean a huge amount, more than you can know, to read all of your lovely messages, of support and love and comfort at this time, both for me and also for the family as well. So thank you so much to each and every one of you doing that. Thank you for the donations that you've been giving to Mrs. P's page at the British Heart Foundation. I shared that in yesterday's 10 to 14 day video. If anybody wants to leave a donation in memorial, a memorial donation at the British Heart Foundation for Mrs. P, then the link is in the description with yesterday's video. And I will share that a couple more times, of course, before the funeral next Friday. Thank you so much. And also thank you so much as well to Trevor Hall for the super thanks on the Glasgow update yesterday. So we started Glasgow updates yesterday, and Trevor gave a super thanks. So shout out to Trevor Hall, also GavsWeatherVids channel member as well, and has donated to the live stream too. So thank you so much, Trevor, for the support. That is incredible. Thank you so much, my friend. And thank you so much for the super thanks. Everybody would like to give a super thanks to the channel, to GavsWeatherVids. All you need to do for that is click the thanks button that you can find underneath all of the videos here on the channel, and that's how you give a super thanks. You'll get a mention of the vid, you shout out. And thank you so much for doing that to Trevor and to everybody else. Right, okay, shall we start the video then on this Saturday? Hope you're having a nice Saturday, and thanks so much for tuning in on your Saturday afternoon/evening, whenever you're watching this. Going to start off with GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensemble next couple of weeks. So red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off around average at the moment. Actually going a little bit cooler later on in the weekend about next week, but then through next week we're still going for a temperature spike. GFS ensemble members, all of them are lifting up, taking ensemble mean the white line into very warm to hot categories. You will notice these very, very hot runs up here, including the midnight GFS operation run. That's a thick green line. So going above 20 degrees, 850 HPA. It's not exactly an outlier, because there are others doing that, but it's certainly at the very hottest end of the range. So some sort of lift up in temperature spike does look likely, as we've been saying in videos over the past few days. Temperature spike looks likely around this time next week. How hot it gets, how long it lasts, still open question. It looks like probably lasts no more than a couple of days, and then we rapidly start to cool things down again. And as we go through the last week of June, much closer to average temperatures then. Precipitation-wise, it is going to be a lot of dry weather over the next few days in London. To get this temperature spike, maybe see a few more precipitation spikes. It really could cool down, but it could produce some precipitation that might be thunderstorms, breaking down the hot weather, and then potentially going into a more unsettled sort of final week of the month. But of course, that is extended range, so it is uncertain. This is how the 2 meter temperatures are looking. So lifting up above 30 degrees with the operational run from around the 17th to about the 19th of June. Then we're going above that 30 Celsius mark, and these tend to be a little bit undercooked actually. So these ensemble graphs, so we'll probably go closer to 35, I would have thought, around this time next week. That's 35 Celsius down on the surface, well into the 90s Fahrenheit. Proper heat wave if that comes off. Temperature anomalies on the 11th to the 19th of June are above average, not just the UK but through most parts of Europe as well. Precipitation anomalies on the 11th to 19th of June are drier than normal. The later inflow map from Earth North School up next shows up with bringing in the wind from off the Atlantic, And so, we've got a nice fresh feel today. That's going to stay with us, I think, through the rest of the weekend. By the way, somebody asked why I think it's Ryan, asked why we haven't shown CT for a few days. We're not updating it at the moment at UK. I don't know what's happened, but there hasn't been an update to CT since the 6th of June. So it's been a few days now. They will get it updated at some point, I'm sure. But until they update it, there's no point showing it. It'll just be taking time out of the video. So as soon as we get an update, I will, of course, bring you CT data. Right, let's go through some chart data. Let me see how the UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Tuesday. A ridge building up from the southwest. It starts off with potentially hot weather, as well as high winds again from the southwest, building over the country, lots of dry and quite warm weather for the middle part of next week. And then later on next week, that's when the heat begins to push northwards from France and from Spain. So gradually turns hotter through the second half of next week. Also potentially a bit unstable. There is low pressure down to the southwest. Southwest approaches that might trigger thunderstorms. There's the upper air temperatures by midnight on Saturday, this time next week. And yes, we are pushing up that plus 20 Celsius isotherm. If we get that, that will lift the temperature well into the 30 Celsius most likely. So becoming hot by this time next week with UK Met Euro, but also potentially hinting at instability and thunder. Icon looks like this. Again, we've got this ridge building in from the Atlantic on Tuesday. Brings dry and relatively warm weather through the middle part of the week. Now, second half of next week, no heat wave with Icon. No heat spike. So instead we get a deep area of low pressure running in to Scotland, and that keeps the wind in from more of a westerly direction. And by midnight on Saturday, instead of bringing up those hot southerlies, we're actually pulling in a rather cool northwesterly. Look at the upper air temperatures as we get through to next weekend. They certainly look much cooler there for Saturday next week compared to the UK Met. That's UK Met upper air temperatures Saturday. This is how the Icon upper air temperatures looking much cooler. Big difference. You'll remember Icon at Christmas stood alone from all of the model output. Icon never went for a cold Christmas and was proved correct. Eventually all of the other models corrected to a relatively mild Christmas and a very mild Christmas to New Year period. And Icon was the one that called that right. Now, just because Icon got that right at Christmas does not mean Icon is getting this right. You will notice Icon is very hot across most of France, for example. So the very hot air is not far away from us at all by this time next week. Plus 20 Celsius isotherm is covering most of France by that point. So let's just wait and see. Icon is definitely different to most of the model output that you're going to see. Doesn't mean it's wrong, and it did do this around Christmas, stood alone from the rest of the pack, and was correct. But again, that doesn't mean that it's right this time. But Icon definitely adds that element of doubt about this heat spike next week. At the end of next week. Right, GFS midnight run again. The Azores high is ridging in on Tuesday. No, this is going to get hot. Azores high ridging in on Tuesday into middle next week. Lots of ridging going on. Plenty of dry and warm weather. And then at the end of the week, the high pressure just slips towards Germany and the low country. Beginning to pull up that hot air from France up the western side of Europe. Up comes the hot upper air temperatures, plus 20 Celsius isotherm. By Friday, you're getting close to the south coast. Looking very hot by the time you get through to midnight on Saturday. With high pressure sent over Germany. And again, drawing up those really hot southerly winds. Look at plus 20 Celsius isotherm. Surging northwards across most parts of England and Wales. That does look really hot indeed, even hotter across France and down Spain and Portugal, plus 25 Celsius isotherm through there. It is only temporary heat wave, so if you like, if you don't like hot wave, you like cool weather, then it's out by the time you get through to Sunday. As winds then start to move into north, it will be cold front, push south. That might trigger some thunder and introduce cooler, fresher air from the Atlantic. So by the time you get through to midnight on Monday, we're actually looking cooler than average again there with the upper air temperatures much cooler and fresher. Into the more extended range of GFS midnight run, high pressure end centres in the Atlantic, Middle Atlantic ridge, low pressure over Scandinavia. We pull down these cool northerly winds. Those winds actually come quite strong, quite a strong northerly as you get through the Friday 24th of June. That brings showers into the north and the east, and certainly chilly temperatures. The upper air temperatures, they are well below average for the time of the year. So what a strange couple of weeks on the way, if this is correct. Perhaps turning more unsettled as well by the end of the month. This surge low pressure brings some wet weather into the northern half of the country. GFS 6Z, again with that ridge of high pressure building through the country on Tuesday. Then the high pressure sits over the country to our east through the middle and second half next week, drawing up that hotter air from the south. Yes, up comes that plus 20 Celsius iceberg by Friday, looking very hot in the south and in the southeast too. Into next weekend, starting off quite hot, but by Saturday already the hot system will be able to begin to retreat away to the south a little bit, so we might be starting to see the GFS begin to wobble slightly on this hotter air. To be honest, the hot air only gets in very briefly around Friday, and by Saturday it's already on the way out. By Sunday we're actually pulling in quite a cool northerly wind. Upper air temperature becoming much lower, especially across the central and northern half of the country. That's day 10, so ridge centre south, a lot of dry weather. It will be cool and fresher, but a lot of dry and pleasant weather by day 10. A little bit more unsettled though further north. Then in the extended range, same idea as a midnight run, that high pressure pulling out into the Atlantic, bringing down this cool northerly. Upper air temperatures lower a lot, with showery bursts coming through with that as well. We get to the very end of the GFS 6Z run. We look like that, cool and very unsettled, with low pressure dropping in from the north, bringing plenty of rain to northern areas, and winds in from the north to northwesterly direction will be cool as well. If you're enjoying this video, then please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. GM, again, with high pressure ridging in from off the Atlantic, from the Azores, through the middle part of the week. But in the second half of the week, we start to draw up this hotter air from the south. How hot does it get? Well, this is the upper air temperatures for midnight on Friday, plus 15 Celsius iceberg coming into southern parts of England. By midnight on Saturday, looks like we bring a fungy low up from France, and the upper air temperatures are getting hotter as well. That's 20 Celsius iceberg, just getting into the far southeast corner. Probably hinting at thunder though with this low, so this will be drawing up thunderstorms, I think, from France. So hot and thundering with GM. And then for Saturday and into Sunday, that fungy low sort of slips away to the east. Cooler air then pushes in from west and from the northwest. Upper air temperatures lower, so it's Friday and Saturday, but we get the heat. And then by Sunday, the hot weather is going out into the continent, and down comes this much cooler and fresher northerly wind, basically upper air temperatures by midnight on Monday, 20th of June, and we certainly look a lot cooler and fresher then, and we keep wind in from the north as we get into day 10 as well. ECM, it's looking like this, so Azores high ridging in on Tuesday into the middle and second half of next week, that high pressure intensifying, and starting to allow this hot air to draw up from the south up western side of Europe. Let's see, upper air temperature midnight on Friday, plus 15 Celsius iceberg into southeast, hotter than that across France, Spain and Portugal, and then that heat drawing northwards as we move through into Saturday. There's the upper air temperatures. They turn very, very hot from Friday into Saturday, plus 20 Celsius iceberg into the southeastern corner. There is, again, similar to GM, low pressure involved with this, so it looks like turning increasingly unstable as we go through next weekend. This looks like a very fungy low that's forming just here within this heat and humidity. And so that will bring risk of torrential storms next weekend before cooler air sweeps away that hot fungy stuff and the Atlantic air comes back in. There's the upper air temperature by the time you get through midnight on Monday. The heat being pushed away into Germany and Poland and moving up Baltic Sea in towards Scandinavia and those northeastern Baltic states, and we're turning cooler and fresher with the wind coming in from off the Atlantic then. Day 10 looks like that, cool, fresh, showering conditions by then, maybe even a little bit cooler than average, so very brief temperature spike, and then we're back into cooler stuff. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tometeo.com. So it's not a dry weather to come away from the northwest over the next few days. But look what happens when we get into next weekend. Storms and heavy rain becoming more widespread, especially focused on England and Wales. So torrential thunderstorms maybe by next weekend, clear away all of the heat and humidity and moving to much more showery conditions by day 10. These are the ups on the table within the ECM ensemble day 4. Day 10 gets to 21st of June. 18 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure in the Atlantic with low pressure across Eastern Europe. Winds in from the northerly direction, cool and showery with that. 13 with high pressure over and slightly to the west of the country. Plenty of dry weather with that. Winds will be coming in from west to northwest, so will be cooler and fresher. 10 again with high pressure in the Atlantic, low pressure north of Scotland. The winds will be coming in from west to northwestern direction, and then another 10 with deep low pressure across the northwest Europe, combined with the mid-Atlantic ridge, so that could be quite cool and wet potentially in 2 weeks' time. This is how we're looking. 26th of June, 12 members of the ECM ensembles have low pressure over the country. That's going to be unsettled and cool. 11 with low pressure towards Scandinavia, high pressure in the middle of the Atlantic. Winds in from west to northwest direction. Another 11 with high pressure just to our west-southwest. Winds are flat and westerly with that. 7 with low pressure just to the southwest, high pressure to the north-northeast, and that's drawing up quite hot air of a southerly direction. Could be quite volatile with that. And then another 7 just with low pressure through the west of Europe again, combined with the mid-Atlantic ridge. That looks quite cool and wet. 3 just here, probably drier and warmer with a ridge from the Azores. There's a range of options, but it does look as though the final week of June will be cooler and more unsettled. So have this temporary heat spike potentially. Not a done deal. Remember, Icon's not going for its heat spike, so until Icon comes into line with the other models, there will be an element of doubt. But Donald's though we might get a heat spike in around a week's time, lasts a couple of days, then it's gone. There's no sign that it comes back before month's end, really. Let's just have a look at CFSV2 before we're done. So these are 500 millibar heights anomalies broken down into week periods. The first week period can take us from the 10th to the 16th of June. The coming week we'll have high pressure to our south-southwest, low pressure to our north-northwest. Winds will be coming in from a westerly direction. So dry weather with that. Warmest weather will be in the south-southeast. Coolest, most unsettled weather in the north-northwest. Week 2 is the 17th, 23rd of June with a deep trough of low across the north and west of Europe, high pressure in the Atlantic, winds coming in from a cool northerly direction. So yeah, that's going to be cool and wet potentially through week 2. Week 3 is going to be the 24th to the 30th of June again with a mid-Atlantic ridge and low pressure across the north and west of Europe, winds coming in from that cool north to northeasterly direction. So cool and unsettled still with that. Bit of a change to week 4. It's the 1st to the 7th of July, first week of July, building up high pressure from the southwest, probably from the Azores and covering west of Europe. So that might start starting to settle things down and warm things up for the first week of July. But it's 4 weeks away. It's a very long way out, of course. Right, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, then please can you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. Don't forget to tell your friends to subscribe as well. And if you do give us a sub, you'll be able to see future weather content. So thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Future weather content, including future Glastonbury updates. And there will be another update for Glastonbury. If you're waiting for that, will be another update for Glastonbury tomorrow evening. Before that, we'll probably have a 10 to 14 day as well tomorrow. So yeah, just keep checking back to the channel for more, and we'll bring you up to date, of course, with the potential for this heat spike at the end of next week. Right, you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I shall see you tomorrow, but for this one, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.